Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of our Project Isothermal Let's Play. I want to thank everyone who has been in the Discord, in my DMs, and on the YouTube comments giving feedback. I've been going through some of that, and one of the things that I was recommended is to try to use a different voice in my videos than when I am streaming, just so that way it feels to myself like I'm making video content and not live stream content. So we're going to try that in this video today and see if that helps make this a little more effective. So thank you for the feedback. If you have more, please feel free to share that. Any comments you put in YouTube, in Discord, in my private messages, that would be awesome. Alrighty, so in today's episode, let's get off of this perch so we don't fall off and die. We're going to get started on trying to make ourselves some dyes so we can really get into crafting all the various things and some auto farming through mystical agriculture. We go here into our quest book. The very first thing that we need to do is a zombie villager spawn egg, and we have all the things that we need. We already know how to make our dead brain coral, our white wool, our brown wool, and our light gray wool. And this is going to be how we are able to get ourselves dyes. So our goal is going to be to auto farm dye essence, which we get from the zombie villager spawn eggs. And that's going to be our first goal today. So in order to craft this, looks like it's going to be 3x3 of the gray wool, the eyes, the brain coral in the middle, and gray wool around it, and then the brown wool all on top. We know where our center is. Put all that up right there. Let's get our brown wool on top because it is a bit of a pain to get up high when we're crafting these. Brain coral. And the 2 white wool. So I was looking for it and flipped through my chest many times, and look at that. It was already in my inventory. So now I've moved it to the hotbar. We're gonna throw it. And that visual glitch still exists, so hopefully that gets fixed soon. And sometimes it does not like to appear whatsoever anywhere. There we go. We now have our spawn eggs. So we can collect that reward, and the next thing that we need to do is we need a hopping mob cage. So we're going to need to make an iron hopper, a mob cage. The mob cage comes from cobblestone bloches, iron bars, and a chain. So as you can see, we only have 4 iron nuggets at the moment. That's not going to be enough. We're going to need a whole bunch more to do all of this mob cage stuff. So I'm going to go do some grinding, and I will be right back. Oh man, I just scavenged for iron nuggets for almost an hour. And 3.5 stacks, 217 to be exact, is all that I got. So that'll do for now, but we are going to need to invest into some automation for iron soon, and so we'll have to take a look and see what that looks like. Looks like I completely missed something. If we go the iron pickaxe route, we could have actually scavenged iron ore. On an andesite block, that would have been way more efficient. Okay, well, we'll have to keep that in mind for the next time. Oops-a-daisies. So we need to make iron bars. To make iron bars, we will need iron nuggets, just 6 of them. That's a pretty easy recipe. The more of that stuff we have, the better, just in case we can make an extra mob cage in the near future. For chains, it's just 3 iron nuggets. So again, really easy. I like to build with chains, where you might make a few extras. There we go. There's 4 chains. And a mob cage. To make our first mob cage, we need 3 of the cobblestone bloches, 2 iron bars, and 1 chain. I think I have some cobblestone back in storage. There we go, 46. We're just going to turn all of these here into bloches because they are useful. Now, make ourselves our first mob cage. There we go. Success. Rewards collected. Now to make ourselves a hopper. So we need 1 chest and 5 iron bars. This is why we should have gone the whole pickaxe route. But we can make ourselves 5 iron bars, not too easily, or not too challengingly. Alright, we also need a chest to make ourselves a hopper, and the way to do that in this pack is to actually utilize your logs. Then you get 4 chests in return. It's a little bit more efficient use of resources since you only get 1 plank per log. We've got ourselves a chest. We are going to add our iron ingots around it. And there is our very first hopper. We can make... How do we make the hopper mob cage? I figured it would just be attaching them together. Now, why did I not? I have a hopper. Now the quest is activated. Okay. Oh, no. Don't go flying away. DJ throwing things into the void. Yep, this is going exactly the way we all planned. Okay, hopping mob cage. Oh, we need 2 redstone dust as well. It's not showing up as unlocked. We may need to make ourselves a storage drawer as well. So we are just going to make, I think it's 6. We'll throw in one of our extra chests. And there we go. We now have a dark oak drawer, which they are quite dark, but we'll find a use for them. If at bare minimum, it is just to fulfill the quest. So it actually got upset at me and did not let me complete the mission without doing it actually in spruce. So now we have a spruce storage drawer, and we also still have our dark oak around here somewhere. I think I put it in the chest. We don't need to worry about it for now. But now we can grab our 2 redstone and craft up our very first hopper mob cage. There we go. Let's collect our goodies, our chaos orbs, and now we can finally unlock dye essence. So how do we do the dye essence? So we have zombie villager. We're going to need to make a DNA sampler. Is there anything else to let us know? I've not played with this mod pack before. So let's take a look. So to get glass, we have glass shards. It looks like it's going to want us to complete our iron ore project first. Let's make a stone pickaxe and get ourselves 3 iron ingots. I think we need to make 1 more. Okay, we have 3 iron ingots. We're going to head back and we're going to make ourselves a stone pick. We might have to go through the whole process. So I will speedily do that and be right back. And that, my friends, is our very first iron pickaxe. Let's get ourselves an iron ore piece. So we got coal ore as well. There we go. So we got iron and coal ore now. I'm going to put this over here where it's really easy to get again. Next time we need to go mining for ores. Now, to the iron ore is taken care of. Looks like the glass comes from somewhere else. Let's go back to scavenging. And looks like I have not gotten glass shards yet, so we need to scavenge from diorite using a stone axe. Alright, stone axe is acquired. We're going to head over to our diorite block and hopefully get ourselves 4 bits of glass shards. We can then craft up into our first block of glass. And that will allow us to get a DNA sampler. So the DNA sampler, 1 iron ingot, 1 glass, 1 andesite. We're just going to craft an iron ingot again I don't have enough of these to justify smelting it. Okay, so to craft this, we need andesite, glass, and our iron ingot. I'm gonna craft the DNA sampler. We should get another fancy reward. Now we can take a look at the dye essence. So, caged entities. Hit entity to extract its DNA sample. It can be used on... We gotta find the... So the DNA sampler, just different levels. All right, let's figure out how to do this. So we're gonna take our DNA sampler that we just made, and we need to use it on a zombie villager. Right-click on the cage to get back the stored DNA sample. So I guess we actually don't need the DNA. We can just put this guy over on... You can put the mob cage like that. Oh man, I hope I did not screw this up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And he's camping that too. He is camping that. Let's get ourselves, I guess, an axe that might do some damage. He's pretty well grinded up too. No, don't kill me again. Nope, nope, nope. Come and get me. You can't get me. Haha. Don't walk. Please don't walk out. Okay, DNA sampler. So does my DNA sampler have DNA now? You need to set up an environment first. All right, so I've figured out what we need to do. If we go over here and we look at how to get dye essence, it looks like we need to get stone or diamond ore. We don't have diamond ore yet, so we're going to go with stone. We're going to have to use it in the zombie villager, or we're going to have to use it over in our hopping mob cage. And we looks like there's light gray wool, and that's going to set up what's called an environment. Should just be able to right-click. We now have the environment. And we now have the hopping mob cage. So we should be able to maybe see... Yep, look at that. There we go. We've now got our little guy growing up right down here. Takes about 45 seconds to grow. We're going to... So that's pretty cool. And then we should be able to get our dye essence and hopefully move towards whatever our next few resources are. All right, so we are back after a little bit of grinding. I have set up 3 new mob cages, 2 of them with hay bales as the environment, a third with stone. That's because we're going to be putting chickens, sheep, and regular zombies in these 3 mob cages. And how are we going to do that? Well, this is why we have gotten all of this dye essence. We're going to grab a whole bunch of that. Let's grab 12. That should be plenty. And let's take a look at what we are crafting next. So if we go over here, we're looking at zombie spawn eggs, and we want to get zombies because zombies will allow us to get zombie essence, which is used to craft brain coral. And as you can see, we need a lot of dead brain coral. We also need green wool, which we have not figured out how to make, and black wool. So let's look at that. Green wool, we put our dye essence like this. So 2 in the middle, 1 on the top. And our black wool is the exact opposite. 2 in the middle and 1 in the bottom right corner. Let's craft up some of this dye essence into our different kinds of dyes. Thank you, Zombie Villager, for allowing us to expand our color palette. And now I just need to make 18 brain coral blocks. We have 1 in our inventory. We have 6 dead brain coral. It requires 18, so I will be back after we collect all this brain coral. Alrighty, I've grinded away. We got all of our resources, so let's learn how we make a zombie spawn egg. So we need 94 green wool, 18 dead brain coral blocks, and 4 black wool. So if we break this all out, the bottom level is a 5x5 square of green wool, and the next level is just the space around the edges. And then it's going to be 2 eyes on one side, they're 2 blocks wide, and 9 brain coral in the middle. Just 9 brain coral in the middle, more green along the outside, and then a whole green square on top. So let's work on that. Okay, and as far as I know, it does appear that they have fixed the bug. So if we throw in our brain coral, that's because I have an extra block here. Don't need that scaffolding block. And there we go. And now the animation is fixed, and I like this. This is really cool. So we'll let that craft up. And now it is time for us to get some DNA. So we have this little fancy spawn platform, and we just tap them, and now we got our DNA. We're going to place him over here. Oh, I accidentally dispensed the DNA, and now he's gone, so there we go. We now have our zombie growing up over here in this hopper cage. It looks like it's a little bit quicker than the dye over here, but this will get us zombie essence, which we can turn into brain coral. And there we go. He's growing up. We got our brain coral. And now it's time to move on to the chicken. All right, to craft the chicken, we're going to need 92 white wool, 3 orange wool, and 2 red wool, or just 1 red wool. We already know how to make black wool, so let's take a look at the orange wool. How do we make orange dye? That's 3 dye essence all in a straight line. So we can do that. And let's look at how we make the red dye. That is 3 dye, similar to how we did green, but it is rotated. Let's grab ourselves a few of these guys. Let's get 6. We don't need a lot of dye for this, so we should be good with just 1 set. And there's 6 orange dye, 6 red dye. I'm going to grind the rest of the wool and resources, and I will be right back. Alrighty, our massive chicken has been built, and now we need to miniaturize it. So let's head on over to our chicken spawn egg. We need something called a flesh block. And if we throw this into the miniaturization field, it should start crafting. But to do that, we need 9 rotten flesh. How do we get rotten flesh? Well, this is also something we can farm from zombie essence. So we can use zombie essence to get us dead brain coral, as well as rotten flesh. So let's grab some of our zombie flesh essence, our zombie essence. And there we go, we got a whole lot more than we need, but that's okay. We're going to turn all this into flesh blocks, because why not? There we go, we got 28 flesh blocks, and now if we throw this in front and this bug is fixed, there we go. The chicken is miniaturizing, and we should get the egg any moment. The egg is collected. And, well, looks like we gotta get ourselves some DNA. So thank you, chicken. Ooh, I did not want to throw that. But the chicken is now growing up here on the inside of our little mob cage, and pretty soon we should start getting chicken essence. So what is the final thing that we are going to do in today's episode? Well, we need to do sheep. So to do a sheep spawn egg, we need brown wool, we need black wool, and we need pink wool. We know how to make all of these kinds of wools except for pink. So the pink wool comes from pink dye, which we can either combine that, which I don't think we have white dye yet, so that won't work. So it's 3 dye essence in a diagonal line. There's a little... Oh! No! I'm falling! Thank goodness for the grave mod in this. Because, man, we would be losing things every single day. Aha, 6 pink dye. We can make our 1 piece of pink wool pretty easily. We are going to need a bunch more white wool. We got the brown wool. So I'm going to craft up the rest of that wool, get our thing built, and then we'll be back to miniaturize it together. Alrighty, I am back. We have the giant sheep head all crafted up, and it's time to miniaturize it. But we don't use the same block as we have been for miniaturizing. We need to use an egg. We're actually going to grab some or chicken essence. My apologies. And I believe it's the top line. Nope, that's chicken. It's 3 in a row. That's how we get feathers. So chicken essence, bottom line. We now have 8 eggs. Looks like we also completed a quest. And we throw this at our sheep. There we go. And also, I killed the chicken. I got tired of listening to it cluck and do all that crazy stuff all the time. So if we need another chicken, we'll just make another one. I don't want to deal with hearing all the animal sounds all the time. I have a feeling you will not last much longer either. Oh, wrong button. Thank you for the DNA. There we go. We got the sheep crafting up. No, fall. Go. Or that works too. Perfect. So we now have our sheep all grown up. It doesn't take that long. And let's collect our last few quests. We've got our chicken spawn egg. Ooh, we've unlocked a whole bunch of new kinds of eggs. We might be taking a look at this next episode. I know the other thing that I'd like to do is start automizing iron. I'd love to see us get an iron golem and get an iron farm. I think we can do that in the mob cages as well, because we don't have to mine quite as much. So thank you all for watching today's episode. We got quite a bit of stuff done. Yeah, look at all of these fancy goodies. We're now into the essence stage of the game. So I hope you enjoyed and have a terrific rest of your day. Bye for now.